Our goal is to always be transparent about how we gather news and how we verify information.
As part of our effort to increase news literacy, tonight we're taking you inside the laws in Michigan that allow our reporters to get the truth from the government. 7
investigators, Heather Catallo and Ross Jones, take a look at the Freedom of Information Act and why it's so very important.
These are very basic questions about dates and when things were written. I don't understand why you can't answer them.
They are 4 words that have the power to end political careers. Freedom of Information Act.
Well, first of all, I didn't do that.
Really?
Right.
Would you like to see the text messages where you offer to do just that?
The Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, is the law that allows anyone to ask a government body for public records.
And without it, some of the most important stories would not have been told. FOIA was critical in our investigation that exposed safety concerns for the flying public, allowing you to hear these recordings from pilots at Metro Airport.
You guys need to be off of Yankee and go to Zulu.
Trust me, that's a constant discussion.
No, it's not a discussion, it's a safety issue coming from the pilots.
In our year-long investigation of Detroit's 911 system, it revealed thousands of calls that languished for hours, callers that were put on hold, and lives put at risk.
I'm not okay with being on hold when I call 911.
FOIA was used to help free people accused of crimes they say they did not commit.
It's a story we first exposed by the 7 investigators when they revealed emails and documents.
And it revealed how the state ignored suspicious psychiatric patient deaths for years.
They're just stamping it and putting it in a pile. That's my daughter.
Leading to a change in Michigan law.
A majority of the members elected in Birmingham voted for the bill's passed.
When you start asking questions, when you look for emails and you follow the paper trail, you'll find an amazing breadth of information underneath what people usually think is the cover of darkness.
First Amendment attorney Jennifer Dukarski says the Freedom of Information Act is one of the most important tools journalists and citizens have to hold the powerful accountable.
We really need to understand what's going on. We need to understand how our taxpayer dollars are being spent, how decisions are being made, so we can restore the faith and confidence in our government.
But FOIA isn't foolproof.
Well, I've just received the results of my public records request that prompted that controversial text message.
After a 2019 FOIA request to the Oakland County Commission, one of the commissioners texted her coworkers to delete their emails, making it hard to know the full truth. FOIA also has a lot of limitations about what you can and can't get from the government.
And government agencies have a lot of ways of preventing us from getting the information we need to tell you the whole story.
Since 2015, Senator Jeremy Moss of Southfield has fought to make it easier for citizens to access public information.
The more hurdles we set up in government, the more questions citizens have of what is the government hiding.
In Michigan, governments can take up to 15 business days to fulfill a request. Earlier this month, we asked Wayne County for any harassment complaints against Raphael Washington, who was trying to be appointed Wayne County's next sheriff. We knew Washington was the subject of lawsuits, but wanted more details. And rather than turn over the records, the county took a 15-day extension, ensuring we wouldn't see any complaints until after he got the job.
You pay for this government, and you should have every right to understand those everyday issues that impact you.
And even though it's called the Freedom of Information Act, the information is seldom free. Governments charge sometimes hundreds or thousands of dollars to fulfill requests, often making it financially impossible for reporters or citizens to get the information.
And most surprising of all, the state House, Senate, and governor, along with other state elected leaders, are all exempt from FOIA.
We need to lift up this veil of secrecy on how government operates, because at the end of the day, we aren't accountable to each other. We're accountable to the residents that pay for this government.
In 2019, the Center for Public Integrity rated Michigan dead last for transparency in government.
Senator Moss is trying for a 4th time this year to improve the FOIA laws in Michigan.
For News Literacy Week.
And the 7 investigators, I'm Heather Catallo.
And I'm Ross Jones.
Wow, great work by our 7 investigators. Now for a step-by-step guide on how to file your own FOIA request on a state or local level, head to WXYZ.com.